The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and gunpowder smoke. The Danube River, swollen from summer rains, shimmered under the early morning sun, reflecting the glint of thousands of Ottoman swords. On its banks, 100,000 Ottoman soldiers gathered, their red and gold banners fluttering in the wind, the crescent and star of the empire gleaming. At their head rode Suleiman the Magnificent, now a seasoned conqueror at 31 years old. His empire stretched from the Middle East to the Balkans, but the Sultan's ambitions burned brighter than ever. Before him lay the Kingdom of Hungary, the last major obstacle between the Ottomans and Central Europe. The road to Mohács was set long before the battle itself. Since the fall of Belgrade in 1521, the Kingdom of Hungary had been a natural next target for the Ottomans. However, an official cause for war emerged in 1524 when King Louis II of Hungary refused to pay tribute to the Ottomans. To Suleiman, this defiance was unacceptable. The Sultan declared war, gathering an army larger than any he had previously commanded, and in the spring of 1526, the Ottomans marched westward. The Hungarian knights, proud remnants of medieval chivalry, formed up for a desperate charge. Their steel-clad cavalry, some of the finest in Europe, thundered forward, lances lowered, ready to smash through the Ottoman ranks. But Suleiman had set a trap. As the Hungarian heavy cavalry stormed forward, the Ottoman artillery roared to life. Cannonballs ripped through armor and horseflesh alike, sending entire units crashing into the dirt. Gunpowder smoke filled the air, turning the battlefield into a storm of fire and chaos. Those who made it through were met by the disciplined janissaries, their matchlock muskets unleashing volley after volley of lead. The Hungarian knights, weighed down by heavy armor, struggled in the mud as muskets and cannons tore through their ranks. Seeing the Hungarians falter, Suleiman gave the order. His elite cavalry surged forward, flanking the shattered army. Within 2 hours, the battle was over. Thousands of Hungarian soldiers lay dead. The survivors fled in terror, only to be cut down in the retreat. King Louis II attempted to escape, but his horse stumbled while crossing a river. The young king was dragged under the current and drowned, his body found days later, lifeless in the mud. With the Hungarian army annihilated and King Louis II dead, Suleiman's forces marched into Buda unopposed. The Kingdom of Hungary, once a dominant Christian power in Central Europe, had been broken in a single afternoon. Yet, rather than annexing Hungary outright, Suleiman chose to install John Zápolya, a Hungarian noble willing to accept Ottoman rule, as king. The decision was not one of mercy, but of strategy. A semi-independent Hungary under Ottoman influence would serve as a buffer between the empire and the advancing Habsburg dynasty, ensuring that the region remained divided and weakened. The destruction at Mohács marked more than just the fall of a kingdom. It signaled the end of an era. For centuries, European warfare had been dominated by heavily armored knights and cavalry charges, symbols of medieval chivalry. But at Mohács, gunpowder had shattered that tradition. As Suleiman stood in Buda, he knew that his war was far from over. The Habsburgs, now aware of the Ottoman threat, would not stand idly by. They refused to recognize John Zápolya as Hungary's rightful king, instead laying claim to the kingdom themselves. The battle for Central Europe had only just begun. Suleiman's victory at Mohács had opened the road to the west, and soon the empire's armies would march toward Vienna itself.